Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sports Writers on the Web. I'm Don O'Brien, Herald-Whig Sports Center, alongside Blake Toppmeyer and Matt Schuckman. In a different location this week, trying to go different places. Hopefully someday we'll be able to do this show from Vegas. That's our ultimate goal, although we need a sponsor. If you'd like to sponsor, call us now. Guys, another big weekend of basketball coming up. Biggest games probably, I don't know, where are the big games? Notre Dame's got one game this weekend, Quincy with another two-game weekend. You know, Quincy is out of the conference race pretty much right now. Chuck, what's their deal?
Yeah, down 2 games now after losing to Rocky last Friday night. Go to East Moline this Friday night. They can still get back in it. You know, if they run the table, they finish 7-3. They got a shot at it. The nice thing is they only play 2 of their final 5 on the road. The bad thing is one of those is at East Moline, where they've traditionally struggled, and the other one's at Moline, where they've traditionally struggled.
Yeah.
So they have their 2 toughest road games still ahead of them in the Big Six. But that also means they got some home games that are winnable. Now, if they could go to Friday night, beat East Moline, set the stage for what could be a run at the title, it's not all said and done. You know, they're not completely out of it, but they don't focus on it now. They don't think, hey, we're playing Friday night for our conference title. They're playing Friday night to get better, to win, to build momentum for the postseason, to be ready for that regional in case they do end up facing Edwardsville down the road.
We're a month out from the regional. You know, if you could look in your crystal ball, are they playing for a regional seed right now?
I don't think so, because I don't think it matters for them where they end up, whether they end up at 2 or 3.
Number 1 is going to be who?
Number 1 is going to be Edwardsville. Number 4 is going to be Alton. 2 and 3 will be Quincy and Granite City.
It just all depends on what uniform they wear.
That's exactly it. So really not much will change depending on what they do now between now and the seed meeting. You know, they're pretty much set, 2 or 3, depending on things. That win over Peoria Central really helped them, because it really let people know what they're capable of. I know they lost to Granite City down at Collinsville, but I don't think there's any way they would drop all the way to number 4.
Over across town, Blake, one game for the Raiders this week. They're up at Hamilton, game against West Hancock. You know, Raiders, it's interesting. It seems like, you know, Quincy is knocking off these games, 2 games every weekend. Raiders used to have 1 game every week. Is that good or bad for them?
You know, I'm not sure. They played so well in that holiday tournament and had a lot of momentum going. I think it might have been a little better to keep playing the 2-game weeks, because now, okay, they've lost 3 in a row, and those losses have been spread out over a long period of time, to where it's now been a long time since they've won. I mean, they won their first game coming out of the holidays against Hickman and haven't won since then. And it's, you know, CUNY's in an interesting situation right now. They played so well, like I said, during the holidays. Have they regressed? I'm not sure. Or is the area just kind of taking a toll on them? You know, I mean, that's one of the things, I'm writing a column on that for Thursday's paper about how this area has a lot of pretty good teams this year. And we saw that, you know, Pittsfield beat them. Jacksonville just barely out of our area, but, you know, another team that plays a lot of area teams has been tough to handle at times. So this is another area game, you know, with a team in their regional. I think this is important. QD has a chance, I think, probably to get the 2 seed in their regional. I don't know that they can top Illini West, but if they beat West Hancock, I think they can get a 2 seed in the regional, even though they've lost to Macomb earlier this season. Macomb's in that regional, but Macomb's stock seems to be falling. QD gets a win this weekend. I think that puts them in pretty decent position to get the 2 seed.
So unlike Quincy High, Notre Dame still has a lot of shuffling to do.
Yeah, there is, because there's a lot of parity in that regional. I mean, you got West Hancock in the regional. If they win this week, maybe they put themselves in decent position. Maybe they put themselves ahead of Notre Dame. Illini West, I'm not even sure they have the 1 seed locked if they lose a couple and Notre Dame gets hot. So yeah, I think there's the top 4 seeds in that regional really up for grabs, I think.
Not only do we have basketball going on this weekend, Chuck, I know you're going to be writing about some wrestling. Q&D wrestling tournament going on this weekend. Quincy has got a couple of duels. What's going on the wrestling scene?
Well, you're looking at, this is the weekend to set you up for the start of the postseason. A week from Saturday is the regional tournament. So right now it's 1, stay healthy. 2, make sure you're ready for the postseason. You know, Notre Dame will bring in, I believe it's 12 teams that come in, all small school teams come in for this tournament this weekend. They'll see a lot of similar faces that they'll see in the postseason. So it's a good measuring stick. Okay, where do you stack up? How do you stack up? Are you ready for the postseason? For Quincy High, You know, it's a matter, you know, a little conference pride at stake. You know, can you go in there and it's at your place? Can you win a couple matches, get yourself a conference title as an individual? I don't think Quincy can win the team title. And then again, make sure you don't get hurt. Make sure you're ready for next weekend because that's when it really matters.
Anything else out there, Blake, that we should keep our eye on basketball-wise? I know we've gotten done with a lot of these tournaments. Missouri side now, trying to get into conference play.
Yeah.
Is it everybody just, you know, for the Missouri schools, seeding, I think, is as we tend to turn to February, everybody worries about, gosh, where we're going to be seated for the district or we're going to be seated for the regional. Is that what everybody's kind of playing for right now?
I think so, and, you know, we see in Illinois, in the Beardstown Regional that includes QD, there's a lot of the same teams that you've seen several times throughout the year. It's the same case in Missouri. Being over at Palmyra on Tuesday night, saw Highland and Toppmeyer play each other, and for the girls teams, that was the third time they've played each other this year, and they're in the same district. They'll probably be seated in the top half of that district, so there's a good chance they could see each other for a fourth time. So I mean, all these little matchups, they affect your seeding. When it's all said and done, it may not matter. You might be end up playing the same teams that you've been battling out with in these tournaments all year. So.
Well, plenty of coverage from basketball this weekend. We'll also have some wrestling for you. I'll be at Quincy University's games on Thursday night as well as Saturday. So we'll have all that and more for you in the Herald-Whig this week. For Blake and Matt, I'm Don O'Brien. Thanks for watching the Sports Writers on the Web.